regards to greenwashing. Do you think that governments around the world should impose harsher punishment for brands and companies that do so?
I definitely think that they should take more control. As consumers already we lead very, very busy lives, right? And we don't have time every day to Google every single product in the supermarket or the mall. It shouldn't be up to us as the consumers to figure out whether a brand is lying to us or not. It should be stopped at the source so that we have no doubts and that we have trust and that we can fully support the brands that are doing good, because there are brands out there and it's fantastic. So yes, there should be start from the top and go to the bottom.
Hi, hi Sharon, and welcome to Manila.
Salamat po.
Okay, by the way, I'm Nolly Berry also for OPIP Worldwide. I just want you to ask, in your opinion, what is the most significant environmental issue in the land down under that is widely ignored by its people?
So it's actually rather ironic that you asked that question, as this year's Miss Earth theme is fauna. Unfortunately, Australia has thousands and thousands of beautiful, beautiful fauna and flora that are endemic to the country. However, a lot of them are going extinct. We've actually, unfortunately, Australia's got one of the worst rating when it comes to protecting our animals. And so this even includes our Amos koala, who was recently hit very, very hard by our bushfires. And so what needs to be done is luckily we just got a new government in and they've just put in some new legislation to state that they're going to try and protect a certain amount of animals that are on the endangered and critically endangered list. So that's a great step in the right direction. We need more movements like this where government is putting in legislation and funding to help protect the animals, because otherwise they'll just disappear one day and we'll never get them back.
Okay, just a follow up. Okay, if you could invest money in your community regarding preservation of environment, how would you do it and why?
So I've sort of got two communities at the moment. So right now I'm living in Paddington, which is a suburb in the city of Sydney, and they're actually very green. It's very fantastic, the initiatives they're doing. However, in Jerilderie, where I grew up in the small country town, we really do need more environmental initiatives. And so one thing that I would hope that they would put funding into is supporting our farmers. Because even though farmers might get a bad rap because they're known as one of the most polluted industries, without them, we would starve. And I don't know about you guys, but I like food. So there are ways that farmers can produce agriculture much more sustainably, but what they need to do that is funding. Because already in Australia, our farmers are sort of on the back end. They've been hit by climate change. They've been hit by fires, droughts, constant water being taken away from them. So they just need some funding and support to help that change in a more sustainable direction.
Good luck.
Thank you so much. Salamat po.
You joined Miss Third continuously.
I had a break.
When was the break?
So I
Last year?
Yes, last year.
Okay. So you have already answered that you chose Miss Earth because of your advocacies and things like that. And Mr. Paul have mentioned that you have all the things that we think will make you win. But what is that one thing that you think that you still need to do to ensure that you really win the first Miss Earth crown for Australia?
That is an excellent question. Thank you.
Hope you have an excellent answer.
Definitely something that I need to work on. Actually, that occurred during the Miss Earth Australia pageant that just occurred was with the question and answer segment. I find sometimes I have too much to say, and so sticking to that 30-second time limit is quite a challenge, because knowing so much and being able to study it, you really get a good understanding of not just the surface level, but everything that occurs around it and influences around it. And so trying to fit all of that into a 30-second answer to get that point across is definitely something that I'm working on, and I'm sure that we'll smash it.
And how is it so far?
It's excellent so far. Been an excellent coach right here. So, it's just about getting to the point and making a strong impact.
Yes.
And very memorable answer.
And also, I'd like to emphasize, we just finished with Chelsea. She got head to head, so I think I'm just gonna transfer that to her.
Hopefully she'll win.
Yes.
If you didn't like it,
Next
just
question is from Mike Francisco.
so naman ang after party.
Hi.
Hi.
Hello. Anyway, many of us asking about your advocacy, and the acronym of your advocacy is ACE. Can you tell us more about it so that the other media will know about your advocacy? Go ahead.
Absolutely, thank you. So my advocacy this year is based on the acronym ACE, which is Action, Care and Education. And the reason that I picked this acronym and such a broad sort of, thank you, a broad advocacy is that there is a lot that needs to be done, and just focusing on water conservation, for example, or just air pollution, they're all sort of interconnected. Like the ocean sucks out CO2 from the atmosphere, just like trees, and that harms the water, etc. So with my advocacy, I really sort of wanted to hit everything in one go. So with action, it's all about taking action. It's probably one of the most important aspects, because if we don't do anything, if we don't speak up, if we don't enact change, then it will only continue to get worse. Care is a really special one, because care is all about loving the environment and connecting with nature. Because if you are disconnected from something, then how can you care for it? Which is, for example, why zoos are so great, because you get to see the animal in real life. It makes you actually care about the animal. So much like the animal, we need to connect with nature and remember to love nature and respect it and where we've come from and that we rely on it. And then education is the last one. And education is knowing what the consequences of our actions might be, knowing what the possibilities are, and knowing also how we have come to be here. And it is only by using all three of them in conjunction that we can make sustainable and substantial work towards the climate change efforts.
Follow-up question.
Follow-up question. What is the treatment of your organization in Sydney?
What is it, as in how do they treat me or how I treat them?
The treatment.
Oh, the treatment? They've been great. They've been very supportive. They did everything they could to send me over here so that I could train with Pro Media early, which I'm very, very grateful for. And so, yeah, I know that they have my back and they just want the best for me.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Next question is for Jay.
Hello, Sheridan. Hi, I'm Jay Pato from Malaya Business Insight. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You look like many pageant fans say you look like Taylor Swift, and it just so happened that your chosen fauna is the swift parrot, the fastest parrot in the world, the fastest flying parrot in the world. So, could you tell me about more why you chose the swift parrot, and at the same time the other fauna or other species in Australia that are also endangered?
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Well, yes, good job pointing out that I did pick the swift parrot as my fauna, and this was on purpose due to my resemblance to Taylor Swift.
Really?
Really, yes, I did pick it because of that. But that's not the only reason. The main reason is that they are very, very, very critically endangered. In fact, I've got a swift parrot on my pin right here, which I got from a little local shop in Tasmania, which is where they're based. And the swift parrots are critically endangered. There's only about 750 left, and there's sort of no big government plans at the moment to really help them, and they could become extinct within the next 10 years. So the timing is crucial. And then it sort of lined up perfectly, because I'm like, okay, if people remember that I look like Taylor Swift, hopefully they'll remember my fauna, the swift parrot. So I wanted to create that connection so that people would remember it, so that we could spread the word about this bird, because it is only with lots and lots of voices speaking up that we might be able to protect this little guy.
Alright, and just to set the record straight, do you love Taylor Swift?
She is my favorite artist.
Can you sing like Taylor Swift? Can you give us a sample? Go.
Unfortunately, Taylor Swift has sort of ahead of me with years of training, but I will be singing for my talent, so stay tuned for that.
We'll wait for that.
Sheridan, I have one more question.
Absolutely.
With so much ahead of you, with so much that you've been doing, your double degree, you're pursuing 2 degrees actually. So my question is, who is Sheridan? Who is Sheridan 10 years from now?
Ah.
10 years from now, you know, if we're speaking ambitiously, Prime Minister of Australia. Thank you. But no, seriously, I would, after I finish my degrees, I've still got 2 more years of full-time study to go, which I'm very excited to get back to also. I do want to get into politics basically straight away because time is of the essence for climate change, which is also why I'm doing this Earth right now, right here, because this door of opportunity opened up to me and I'm like, this is excellent, this is exactly on my life path, I'm going to grab it by the horns and run because you just can't, you know, maybe 50 years ago we could have spent more time to try and fix it, but now we really must take action. And so 10 years from now, hopefully, I'll be Prime Minister of Australia. I would have enacted excellent environmental legislation so that Australia is on track to meeting all of its international obligations, and hopefully this would have influenced other countries to do the same.
Another question from Gilbert.
Prime Minister Sheridan Morton. Sounds
I
good.
like how
The most
fast,
beautiful
yeah.
Prime Minister 10 years from now.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Sheridan. My name is Kim from the Daily Tribune. So, how are you all?
I'm great, thank you. Kamusta ka?
I'm doing good, thank you. All right. I want to visit Australia. So there are 8 states in Australia. Say I'm visiting Northern Territory and Tasmania. Where will you take me?
This is an excellent question to ask me as I've been to these places. So Northern Territory, definitely have to go and check out the crocodiles. I know that they're a bit scary, but they're just such a beautiful, gorgeous animal. So I'd definitely go on tour there, go on the rivers, and just see, you know, it's just a different experience. Everyone's sitting there on the boats and they're so quiet, waiting to see, oh my gosh, is a crocodile going to be, are we going to die? No, you don't die. But it's very beautiful to see it, so definitely that. And in Tasmania, there are so many beautiful, beautiful waterfalls in Tasmania. In fact, I nearly got waterfalls out with my family, like, another waterfall, really, you know? But they're very, truly gorgeous. Tasmania has one of the most gorgeous landscapes. It's very, very green there, but it's very cold, so take a jacket.
Thank you. I have one more question. So, where do you want to go to the Philippines?
Ah.
Oh, I would really like to go to Boracay.
I'm from
I think
India.
it's very beautiful. So maybe after the pageant, I'll get to nip over there for a little vacation.
Thank you.